Hey everybody, how are you doing? So, if you watch my latest video on Torchlight, then you know I quit the unending grind to go try Titan Quest 2. But as you can see on my channel, there is no Titan Quest 2 video. Well, that's because I have a very simple philosophy. Since I can't lie, when I don't have anything good to say about something, I just shut the F up. That being said, it's also that, being French, I can't make a video complaining about stuff, you know? We don't want to reinforce stereotype, right? Before we start, I have to remind you that this is 100% not sponsored. I am giving you my most honest review here, and I'm having a great time playing the game. All I want is to share that with you guys. So moving on, YouTube tells me that people watch an average of 3 minutes of my video. Then let me give you a quick 30-second review and then get a little bit more in depth later. So right off the bat, I can tell you that the game is good. It has a defining art style that sets it apart from other cartoony RPG, and the gameplay is fast-paced from the start. You don't struggle to progress, getting your build together is really intuitive. The game offers a deep meta progression while adding roguelike elements to your runs, which result in the game having a lot more build diversity than you might think at first sight. The blend is really well done, and all I can say is that you've got to try it. Now, the endgame loop is still ongoing development, but it already has different choices for you to choose from based on your own gameplay preferences. And finally, the roadmap looks really good to me. If they can hold this timeline, then the game's gonna get even better real fast. Phew, that's it for the summary. If you got the information that you were looking for, I accept payment in the form of like, subscribe, comment, you know the drill, right? If you want to know more, then let me give you a little bit more detail. Now, what did I mean when I said that the game has a defining art style? Well, if you have ever played Darkest Dungeon, you can instantly recognize a similar art style. It sets the vibe for the game, and I think it's something you either love or hate. Obviously, I love it. It's very clean and it fits the gameplay perfectly. Talking about the gameplay, I mentioned that the game is fast-paced from the start. What did I mean? Is that the moment you take control of your character and start shooting monsters, you get a very good responsive feeling. It's not like any other top A RPG where you feel like you're controlling an asthmatic snail. And I get it, it's all about the power creep feeling of getting from a low move speed, low attack speed character to a god moving faster than light and attacking 30 times per second while exploding the screen. But let me tell you that having a responsive character from the start doesn't take away that feeling at all. And I think that's mostly due to the roguelike element of the game that make each run feels different without making the underlying build feel useless. As I told you, in my opinion, the blend is perfect. So while we are on the gameplay, there is something I need to mention. Most of the time, developers will have a vision for the game and how it should be played, but here the dev did something I respect a lot. In HellClock, each run is timed by the HellClock. Shocking, I know. Giving you a certain amount of time to push your run as far as possible within the given time. Now, some people might not enjoy being timed and just want to chill, explore every level of the game without being pressured. Well, even though the name of the game is HellClock, the game gives us the power to activate or deactivate the clock whenever we want. And I think that just shows the dev are thinking about the difference between player and what they need to do to make sure that as many people as possible can enjoy their game instead of getting stuck to their vision and how they want the game to be played. And that in my book, it's a massive W. Now let's talk a bit more about the character building system, or meta progression, however you want to call it. You first get to pick 5 skills from a pool of 22 that you unlock progressively. And you might be thinking that's gonna be forcing you into a shortcut heavy build. Absolutely not. Most damage skills don't have any cooldown, allowing you to make a one button build easily. The pool of skill might be low for now, but it's enough to give build diversity, and knowing more skills are coming later down the roadmap is great news for me. Then you have your gear. I don't know if it's gonna change later on, but for now, gear pieces are high value stat sticks. It's not where the core concept of your build is going to take places. That is happening in the relic slot. You have two kind of relics. The legendary relics that modify the way skill works in order to create effect and synergy between different skills. That's where you get to make the important choices that are going to define your build. And the second kind of relics are what I would call support relics. They help you scale your build, giving you more damage or tankiness. And then you have your passive tree. So during your first playthrough of the game, you'll have a starting tree, and as soon as you finish the campaign in normal, you'll unlock 2 more difficulty level, kind of what you've got in Diablo 2 with Nightmare and Hell mode. And your passive tree is gonna change. You can consider that the first passive tree gets fully unlocked and added to your character by default. This new passive tree is gonna help you get some fix for your build depending on what you need: damage, tankiness, sustain, or even roguelike element buffs. Finally, you have your constellation tree. This is still in development, and by the way, if any devs end up watching this, we are gonna need more constellation points in order to fully enjoy what it has to offer once it's finished. But for now, this is how it works. Constellation are sets of passives and actives buff that comes in to give your build another dimension and works in relation with legendary relics to give sense to some combos. If you're wondering how, wait a little bit for my next video and I'll be showing you some build that I've been using to farm and clean the Oblivion difficulty. Talking about endgame, for the moment you have 2 ways to go about it. You can either stick to your character after you finish the campaign for the first time and decide to push through the next 2 levels of difficulty, getting stronger relic and stronger gear to go even further. Or you can create a new save file using the Ascension mod. In this mod, you get yet again a new passive tree which is different from the first one or the second one. In this mod, the amount of run that you've got is limited, and the goal is to go as far as possible within that limited amount. It's all about doing something good out of what you get in your first run. It's much more centered around the roguelike gameplay. Every time you run out of runs, you reset your character, choosing how much difficulty you want to add, resulting in higher hell difficulty level. The reset means passive tree reset, gear reset, relic reset. The only thing you're gonna keep is the constellation point you get from the promise list, which is basically a challenge list. Now, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of this mod. I prefer the first option where I can push build to the end and min-max it as much as I want. Now let's take a quick look at the roadmap before we end the video. I'm looking at a timeline and I see that in a month we get crafting system on top of what they call corruption. Then 2 months later we get improvement on movement, which is already really good, on top of all the constellation being available. Then again, 2 months later we get new endgame content, new skill, new relics, new crafting mechanics. That sounds really good. Now, I've seen some people on Reddit complaining about them playing a paid DLC when the game just got 1.0 release, and I get it, it's a little clumsy, but at least it's transparent. Also, you don't know how much it's gonna be. Are we talking about a 2-3 euro dollar DLC or a 20 euro dollar one? I think it's too soon to throw them stone. For now, the game feels good to play, the roadmap looks good, and if they can keep the timeline, I really don't mind giving a bit more money to get more content later for a game I really enjoy. Alright guys, I think this is it. I hope I didn't forget anything. If I did, feel free to let me know in the comment. Also, if you want some build, I will be posting some, so keep an eye out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!